You're getting a lot of that, right?
Yes, I actually get, and those that are going to be watching this, you know who you are. I won't say names for the privacy of the people, but they've already posted on my website, so they don't care.
Right.
But there are people who have lost their young children,
right.
14 years old.
Right. How is there any closure to that until they come to you and you provide some source of...
I've provided them with things that nobody would actually know.
Right.
There's secrets within themselves.
Right.
So they say, oh my God, I didn't lose her.
Right.
I can't touch her, but I can communicate with her through Chris.
Right.
And they call me on a daily basis. The thing that is a little bit different than myself and other psychic mediums, and they may do it, but I just never heard of it.
Okay.
Is I contact each one of my readings at least once a week to ask them how they're doing.
Wow.
And if I showed you all the texts that I have...
Right. Well, you said, we just interviewed a little while ago, and Chris said that you can call him directly on his cell phone and he will answer.
These are all the texts, as you can see.
Oh my God.
You can't see the number.
Yeah, they don't even have...
These are all follow-ups.
Right.
Of people who I talk to.
Right.
On a daily basis through spiritual counseling that I do.
Right.
Things like that. And I just said, hey, you know what? Matter of fact, recently, a girl named Laura out east, I texted her. I said, listen, I'm getting a strong energy about you. Something has to do with your cars.
Okay.
It has to do with paperwork.
Okay.
So if I were you, I'd just check it out.
Right.
She messaged me a couple hours later. She goes, oh my God, I went out to my cars. Every one of my inspections are due.
Wow.
Thank you so much for saving me a ticket.
So sometimes you just something is coming to you and you just...
Yeah. I just say it.
And you just say it. Do some things come to you and you're not sure where you're supposed to say it? Like you're getting this like vision of something and you're not really sure where it's connected? You kind of always know where it's directed.
I do.
Okay.
I cannot read people who are close to me.
Right.
My sister, my mother,
okay.
my girlfriend. Although just the other night it was her mother's 18th anniversary of her dad.
Okay.
I'm laying in bed, half asleep, and she's sitting down, not even thinking about it. We briefly talked about it. I said, oh, by the way, and I gave her a whole history of this lady, Marie.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, she's like, oh my God, I think I know
right.
who this is.
Right.
Ended up her talking with a relative and confirmed everything I just said.
Wow.
And that was the first time that I was able to read her in over a year.
Right. Wow.
Because we became close.
I want to talk about your girlfriend for a minute because I noticed that you wear a lot of hematite and you're wearing a wedding band. You consider yourself married. This woman in your life is, I think, somebody that's really... Yes. She seems to be bringing out the best in you and also making you, I think, more in tune to your talent.
Yes.
I mean, speaking
she teaches me law of attraction.
Right.
I live it now.
I love
and
that.
without her, I would not be able to do this. She gives me the energy. Matter of fact, sometimes she comes to my gatherings that I do, and after my 9th or 10th one, I go out and I give her a kiss and a hug,
right.
and then I go back in again.
Right.
She just gives me the energy to be able to do what I do.
Right.
Without her, I don't think that I would be able to do it.
Right. That gives me so many chills happening today. I think who you surround yourself with, even my kids or Brittany, our camera girl today, my staff, my husband, if they're not bringing out the best in you, it's wrong. It just
right.
doesn't feel right. When they are, I think that,
magic.
Yeah, it's magic. And you can really make and do wonders with the world, right?
Agreed.
And obviously you are really doing a lot of wonders. I want to talk to you a minute about a book that I'm reading right now. Actually, some of our staff, I'll be starting a book club. It's called Old Souls. And I know you don't know about this book, but I picked it up. I had just spoken to you that day.
Mm-hmm.
Something was drawing us together.
Mm-hmm.
We speak that day. Later that day, I find this book in Barnes & Noble, just rested. It's not even recently written. But this is compelling evidence from children who remember their past lives. And as I'm reading the book, I'm only really halfway through. There's this writer, Tom Schroeder, and he does an investigation on a man named Dr. Ian Stevenson, who has traveled the world for maybe 50 years, I think. He's getting older, and has discovered or uncovered children who are new to life, and at the minute that they can speak, are remembering or having visions of themselves in a car accident or themselves in a situation or they were a farmer, they were whatever in past lives. What do you feel about that? Just curious.
But it's funny that you mentioned. I always believed in reincarnation up until recently.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why in a minute. But my 5-year-old, okay, I have a 5-year-old.
Okay.
And when my 5-year-old, I don't tell her anything about what I do.
Wow.
I keep it private because I don't think 5-year-olds should be, doing that. But when my 5-year-old comes up to me and says, I actually said it to my girlfriend, oh, by the way, a dark shadow figure is going to come to you tonight.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
She'd go, no, Dad, do that. Okay, so fine, really do that? Where would a 5-year-old come up or pick up one of my crystals or my stones? Well, Daddy, this makes me feel this way. Really? I mean, at 5 years old, I'd be throwing a rock through a window.
Right.
That's just what I do.
Right.
We were going into Walmart, and she goes, Daddy, look into the white light. Not look at the light, look into the white light.
Right.
And it's always me and my girlfriend look at each other, or my girlfriend and I, to be proper. And we're like, my God, I can't believe that she comes up with these things.
Right.
So I just have a feeling that she's also gifted. Just to touch base on it, and we'll go back. There is an author, Sydney Sherman, who is a friend of ours, and she just wrote a book, Gifted Innocence, and it's about children who have gifts.
Okay.
And were brought up with gifts.
Right.
Now, I've been doing this since I'm 8.
Right.
Not readings, but a lot of paranormal stuff.
Right.
And I think that reincarnation, if there was such a thing, which I always did believe in, I always thought it was pretty cool, when do they reincarnate? Because I have done readings for people who are very, very old.
Right.
And I have done investigations as a paranormal investigator and seen people who are from the 1800s.
Right.
So if you can't be there, talking to me,
right,
and then be in somebody else's new body,
right.
So I'm a little bit confused about that. I don't have the answer to that. If anybody does, give me a call 631-838-2166.
That would be something interesting, and we should talk about it again. Maybe you could be a part of our group that is going to involve this discussion of, what is this investigation, and there are lots of people that have done this or under hypnosis have come out
with life regression.
Right.
A lot of people do that.
Recognizing.
Alice, a very good friend of mine, Alice Agostini, does past life regression.
Okay.
And she tells you who you were before.
Wow.
Through hypnosis.
Wow.
I think that's an amazing thing. I have not had it done.
Right.
I don't really know if I want to know who I was before.
I don't want to mess with you.
I'm not really sure who I want to know who I am now. But seriously, I do believe in that. I just don't have the answers.
Right.
And I don't think anybody really has the answers about everything.
Right.
So I have people, believe it or not, that text me, by the way, I lost my car keys. Can you please tell me where they are? I'm like, really, dude? I'm not a circus freak. I don't know where your car keys are, and I don't know where.
But there's a shadow behind you.
Yeah. But you better watch out because something may happen. No, but some people are really like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So talk to us a little bit about the stones.
Okay.
I mean, you have this connection with the stones. I told you before.
I do.
I'd really like for you to meet Frank Marasco, who owns Zacana and Westbury. Also has this deep connection with the stones, and we're doing something in October that I'll tell you about.
Okay.
A healing week, actually.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It would be great for you to be involved. So tell us what you feel of the powers of the stones. They're all over your.
These are my Christmas presents, okay? I mean, really.
People are buying you stones, and
my girlfriend actually gave that. My father actually got this out of a mine.
Okay.
And I actually like my jasper stones, my hematites, my tourmaline stones. This was given to me a lady from Cassadaga, Florida.
Okay.
I don't know if you know about Cassadaga. Cassadaga, it's very funny because you walk into Cassadaga in Florida, and you know how I don't know how old you are, but I'm old. Well, I'm 51.
We're not going to talk about my age here, okay?
But anyway, you go by. You know how they used to have the sign that said dentist?
Yeah.
All right, and it was a wooden post and it had dentist. Well, you go to Cassadaga and you have a little wooden post and it says psychic. Or everybody that lives there is a psychic or a medium or some other kook.
Okay.
That's there. And a lady that owned Sixth Sense Connection in Casadega, Florida, gave me this stone.
Okay.
And I started reading people on the street, not purposely. It's just, hey, how you doing? You know, oh, by the way, your son about everything about college and things like that.
Right.
And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm taking this, business away from these people.
Right.
But it was really a cool place. Anybody gets a chance, you should go to Casadega, Florida. It's very intense place.
Never heard of that.
But the stones, like I really think that I have a hard time leaving the house without them. Matter of fact, if I get in my car and I feel I don't have them,
Right.
I get out of my car and I go and I put them in my pocket.
It's a part of you.
Yes, my cat is attacking me.
And yeah, you feel a connection through the stones. It
gives me peace.
It gives you peace.
It gives me peace. It gives me strength. It gives me self-confidence.
Okay.
Not that I lack them, but
Right.
I think I'm like everybody else.
Right.
For instance, if like I told you before, I had somebody from New Jersey come here for a reading the other night.
Right.
I am very nervous that my expectation that I will not be able to meet their expectations.
Right.
They're traveling 3-4 hours
Right.
to come and see me.
Right.
And if they sit on this couch, which it does happen, and it does happen to the best of us, the TV shows that you do see are all wonderful because they cut
they're
out.
cut and edited right. Not even like this is live. I mean, I'm going to be sitting here and it's a huge amount of expectations from you, right? And praying the whole way here that you're going to, not me personally, but I could see that, especially.
And I could read you on the air, but it's not a good idea.
Right. No, I don't want that.
No. It's not a good idea, trust me. There are things that, and that's why I do keep a lot of my, I don't like large group readings, although I do them. I would rather privates because what I have to say goes deep with some things that have happened to you when you're a kid.
And almost, it's like...
Do you get my drift?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
So that's why I don't bring them.
That was weird.
That's why I don't bring them in.
You just took sucked oh my God.
And that's why I don't do it.
Okay, got it.
So, we can do that.
We got that.
We can do that another day.
I think so. So, we're going to have to talk. But I want to talk about the name.
By the way, I don't believe in death.
Okay.
All right, so that means, to me, if somebody had a miscarriage or an abortion or something like that, that baby is still going to be taken care of on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, when I say the other side, it's the other side of a thin wall that people occupy over here, we occupy over here. Who knows? On this side, they may have a reading about you.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have that answer.
Crazy.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about the name Casper Paranormal. I mean, that is your show on Monday nights.
Yes.
And people can find you on CasperNormal.com.
CasperParanormalResearch.com.
CasperParanormalResearch.com. The name Casper to me is indicative of Casper the Ghost.
Of course it is.
Is that what you were going for?
Legally, no.
Okay.
Right. Because of course Casper is copyrighted and it's not named after Casper. It's named after Casper, Wyoming. I love Casper, Wyoming.
Oh.
And
What's
so
special?
I named it after Casper, Wyoming.
What is special about Casper, Wyoming?
Well, when I went to go register my business, the lady said to me, "Oh, you can't name it Casper because is your name Casper?" I said, "No, it could be though if you want me to.
Right.
I can always change that."
Right.
And she said, "Well, I'm sorry, it's copyrighted. I can't do that."
Okay.
So quickly, with the magic of Google,
you came up with Casper, Wyoming.
I Googled Casper, Wyoming.
Okay.
I Googled Casper, Wyoming came up.
Right.
I actually on my business, it's Casper, Wyoming. That's why
Interesting.
But since then, I've had a lot of fans from Casper, Wyoming.
Right.
And,
that's interesting.
Yeah, and I actually looked, and then looked at the scenery, and it's a very beautiful place.
Okay, good. Okay. But
Go with that.
Right, we'll go with that. So, really, it's about the ghosts. What is around you, or the...
It started off as me traveling, astral projection.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
When I was 8 years old, I would go to sleep, and then I would travel. I would go to these different places, so real.
Wow.
Like swimming in the air. It was so real. I would wake up, and this is actually my thoughts right now. I would wake up and all my sheets would be all over the place, pajamas ripped, everything like that. It's like, really, what's going on? To the point where I was able to pick and choose where I go.
Wow.
So it was amazing. And then life became life, and things started going away because work got involved and school and this and that, and it started fading away.
Right.
And then I met this very special girl who I'm with, and she said, I thought I was having a heart attack. I would wake myself up. Oh my God. I said, oh, you were traveling. And that's how our conversation really started.
Right.
And I told her about the traveling, the astral projection, and stuff like that. So we really met at a very special time, and we clicked with the paranormal. Paranormal is very important to me.
Right.
Although I backed off my investigations a little bit, my partner Angelo takes over with the investigations more so than I do. We still go to the Pilgrim States and the Kings Park.
Oh, we love those places.
I have pictures on my sites about that.
Right.
But of course, we all do that legally.
Right.
We don't go in without permission.
Right.
And that guy that was chasing us the other time, he was just a prop.
Right.
But no, we do go into the tunnels. We do things like that.
Very
Night vision stuff. I am more afraid when I go into those places at night of the people that are alive.
Right.
Because the people that are past won't hurt me.
Right.
The people that are alive have these little pipes that they can hit you in the head with. And so I kind of, and you can't see them because it's very dark.
Right.
So I kind of worry about those people.
Oh, sure. So what's next for you? You're working on a book.
I am. I'm actually, it's going to be called My Book of Readings.
Okay.
And I think it's something that everybody can relate to.
Okay.
Because all people from walks of life come and sit on this couch.
Right.
And talk to us about readings. Professionals, blue-collar guys, housewives, even guys that are, people that are unemployed, people that are going through problems, people that are at the end of their rope, homeless.
Right.
Everything.
Wow.
So it's so interesting to me.
Right.
To be able to touch the lives of people that are in such need and such direction. I'm going to leave the ones out that just want to come here to speak to Uncle Joe and find out his favorite soup recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Because those things to me are not as important as the ones that have a message behind it.
Right.
All right? Because the messages in this book will be for those people who need to cope with something. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel.
I really believe that too. So they'll be reading the book and they'll be able to connect on and possibly give them hope.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
That, you know what? Whoever passes, they can still hear you. The problem is that people don't open their minds to that.
Right.
And they, it's always, like if you ask a question to Peter, who is past, right? And you say, hey Peter, I want to know about this. And then you say that you didn't get anything back. But it's the first thought that comes to your head.
Right.
That I would tend to think it's Peter.
Right.
If you overthink something, which we know certain people are overthinkers.
Right.
If you overthink something, then it's not going to work.
Right.
So you have to believe.
Very interesting. It was unbelievable.
So if you would like to have a reading one day,
yeah.
be sure you can always come by.
So we can find you on your website, CasperNormalResearch.com, or your CasperParanormalResearch.com.
Casper Normal. I'm the furthest thing from normal.
No, we don't want any normalcy. Or you can connect with Chris Johansson on his Facebook page or call your phone number again?
631-838-2166. Call me personal, answer the phone. If you have a question, anything that you want to know, just give me a call.
I would love to do more of this with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would love it too.